My evil stepfather demanded more child support from my dad and threatened to adopt us, so I fooled him to admit all his wrongdoings, and now my mom is leaving him. My mom and dad divorced when I was 9. Soon after, my mom married my stepfather. Summers and every other Christmas were spent out of state with my dad. The rest of the time I was with my mom. They did not have the nicest of splits and divorce, but both insisted that they would not interfere with our relationship with the other parent. My stepfather did not agree to this, however, and did everything he could to sabotage our relationship with our father. My dad would call, and if my stepfather answered the phone, he would hang up on dad. He called my dad to demand more child support or he would legally adopt us, and my dad would never see us again. I had no real friends growing up because I did not want to bring people home. One day, while visiting my dad, we ordered some custom leather jackets to arrive about a month later. It came and I found the box on the dining room table with return to sender written on it, as if he had meant to send it back later. I grabbed it, stashed it in my room, and thankfully he forgot all about it. That night after dinner, as everyone was on the couch watching the evening news, I brought the package out, gave it to Mom, and asked her to explain why it was being sent back. My stepdad began to say that we couldn't afford it, to which I said everything had already been paid for, and why did he hang up on dad when dad called, and I said dad had recordings of the threats to adopt us and prevent dad from ever seeing us again. My stepfather began spinning a tale about how he just wanted us all to be one big family, and he knew how my mom didn't like my dad, and he did everything for the sake of the family. Then he caught me smiling, stopped, and asked me, "What the heck is so funny?" I said, "Dad has no recordings, but why does he need them when you just admitted to everything?" He said something unintelligible and jumped off the couch to lunge at me until my mom stopped him by getting in between us. Mom simply said, "Out!" and he walked to the front door and let himself out. After we heard him drive away, Mom asked for the details about everything and apologized for bringing him into our lives. The next morning, I was walking to the bus for school when my stepfather quickly pulled up near me and stopped, then got out of the car and started walking towards me. I screamed like I've never screamed before or since. He got up to me, slapped me across the face, grabbed my shirt, and started walking me to his car. I didn't go peacefully though, screaming and resisting the whole way. That's when my savior appeared. An older gentleman had seen everything and came out of his house with quite possibly the largest hand cannon I have ever seen outside of the movies. He just saw an older man dragging a screaming teen girl to his car. He told my stepdad to stop, pointed his gun at him, and got him to kneel down with his ankles crossed and to intertwine his fingers behind his head, so I believe he was former military. Isn't that how you are taught to take prisoners? I don't know for sure. His wife had also seen everything and called the police, then came out and began soothing me. When the police arrived, my savior put his gun down and raised his hands to show the police he meant no harm to them, that he was not a threat. His wife said that she was the one who called and said that she and her husband had seen a man pull up, grab a young girl, and began dragging her to his car when they decided to interfere for my safety. I then confirmed the story but did not mention he was my stepfather. The police asked for IDs and noted that my student ID had a different last name and had no sign of the name my stepfather was calling me. At the time, I went by my middle name, but my student ID had my actual first name, and I had kept my original last name, so it was different than his, despite his attempt to claim he was my father, and was just disciplining me for something. He was handcuffed and taken away in one of the cars, while the other car drove me to school, where the officer went in and told the attendance office lady that I had been the victim of an attempted kidnapping, and that's why I was late. He later showed up after school to give me a ride home and stayed in the house with me until my mom got off work and came home. My brother, who was unaware of my day's adventures, came home and me, my brother, and the officer played video games until my mom got home. My mom and stepfather later divorced. When I was at school a couple of days later, my stepfather came by the house with a police escort and my mom's supervision and got his personal stuff. My mom was later able to get a restraining order against him for herself, me, and my brother. Haven't heard from my